Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of the Trading Easy, Trading and Inside Look, a series where we dive deep into the world of retail trading and try and figure out what it really takes to be successful and profitable within this business where almost 95% of people fail. Throughout the series, we will be interviewing many different traders from many different backgrounds and many different abilities. So sit tight, today's guest is MitchellStoxx. Right then. MitchellStoxx, welcome to episode 3 of Trading an Inside Look. If you could just start by giving us an introduction about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a stock market trader, spread betting primarily. I've been trading for around just over a year now, from the 2020 market crash. I guess that's when a lot of us. I actually tried trading back in 2015. I did it on and off for around 2 years. It kind of didn't go the way I wanted it to. So I had a bit of a gap between then and now. So yeah.
What did you try the first time? Was it kind of leverage stuff or was it investing?
Yeah, no, still leveraged. It was trading. It was actually CFDs. I didn't know about spread betting back then. So I was trading CFDs. I was probably doing swing trading more on the side of my job. So I was focusing on that. I'd not bought into any courses though, which I think were for that journey back then, to be honest. I mean, you need structure, don't you? You need that structure from a course. So that's probably one of the things I've done wrong, and that's probably the reason why it ended, back then. So
I know that was when I first started. I went down like so many wrong paths, like really overcomplicating it, learning like Elliott wave theory, all this stuff, and then in the end, I was like, I can't do this. I can't,
Elliott wave.
mate. I just like I remember looking at it, thinking I learned it all, and I was trying to apply it to charts, and I was just looking at it like I can't do it. I can't do it because the way they teach you, you're like, oh yeah, I could do that, but when you look at a chart, you're like, I just can't see it.
Yeah. I don't know about Elliott Wave. I've heard of it actually, but I've never bothered. I've just never I've just never bothered reading into it because you can just start looking at all these different things. Elliott Wave, is it ABC pattern, that kind of thing, head and shoulders, triangle stuff, and yeah, it can. There's so many different strategies, isn't there? You start reading into it, you can really start overcomplicating it as well. The idea is just to simplify, I guess. And that's, I mean, Zed simplifies it great, doesn't he? And Tom as well, with what they do and their strategy.
I think that with it as well, the idea of their strategy is to let all the big boys do the Elliott wave theory, do the analysis, and we just need to find out what they're trading and when they're trading it and jump on the back of it.
Jump on the back of them investors. And yeah, that's it really. I mean, Elliott wave, what even is that? Is that like some kind of, is it like a Fibonacci?
Yeah, it's similar to it, but it's like it's a theory predicts psychology of traders. So it's basically like a trend, a pullback, a trend, a pullback, and then consolidation, ABC, then reversal or continuation. But it's just
Yeah,
mad.
it sounds it.
Right, like I said, when you learn it, you're looking at it like, oh yeah, sweet. They show you examples that's easy, but when you're trying to apply it to charts, you've got like the big theory, and then within that theory, you've got the mini patterns, and then you've got the daily patterns, the minute patterns, and then it's just like you end up with a chart with numbers and ABC written all over it, and you're just like you'd end up getting lost in it.
Yeah, sounds like smart money, like a smart money kind of concept thing, Elliott Wave. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a famous investor, I forgot his name, that was learning that theory, and he ended up calculating some of
Name
the
Elliott.
crazy. Well, no, he was because the guy that invented it, that Elliott guy, it was like years
Yeah.
and years and years ago. And this other dude was looking at it, and he ended up coming up with some mad mathematical theory just from looking at that. And that's how deep it is. And yeah,
Wow.
for anybody watching, just don't learn it. Don't go down that path.
It's crazy.
So what attracted you to trading in the first place then?
To find that they use the investment vehicles, asset classes to build wealth. And really, the two asset classes that really have stood the test of time is property and the stock market, right? And I know properties, that's a bit more of a higher barrier of entry. The stock market, you can pretty much get into straight away. I mean, you can open up a brokerage account with 250, £250. I think the minimum is, and you've got access to leverage. It's probably not the best thing when you first start off, but it's scalable, and I think that's what really attracted me.
Yeah, similar with me as well. It's the whole thing of being able to sit in bed and make money without even, without even. I know, yeah, you got to learn it, but once you know it, you'll be able to just go bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've just made a few £100.
I think it's that initial time investment at the beginning. Obviously, that's going to take up a lot of time, and it does take up a lot of time. Um, but still, like when you get it, like you said, you can wake up in the morning, do it from your bed if you really want to, and make a daily wage from your bed. It sounds pretty crazy when you say it like that, but it's kind of the reality of it. So it's attractive, and you can see why it is attractive.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that I think a lot of people they get kind of they see that people doing so well with it, and then they don't realize this the struggle. Because I was reading the stats the other day a bit, like people that the 90 rule and all this, and it's like everyone gets attracted it
Yeah,
for the same reason, but everybody quits for the same reason as well when they do quit. That's deep, man.
exactly. It is deep, yeah. But then if you think about it, like sure, like them stats are going to be there because of that low barrier of entry. It's like if you was to get a brain surgeon, if you could go and just do a brain surgery overnight, right? Just walk in there and do it, you'll probably fail, obviously. That's a pretty obvious case. But if it was that easy to get into, you still have the same stats in brain surgery than you would with trading. You know what I mean? So, this 90-90-90 rule is it's low barrier of entry has caused it, but it's about who are them ones who are going to stick to it, and actually get the proper education to get past that statistic, really, and not be a part of it.
Yeah, and it's it's kind of like a lifestyle, as well as, like, obviously the money brings a lifestyle, but the actual trading, it's deeper than a lot of people think. The strategy is quite simple, what I mean, that you can learn and pick up. It's that psychological barrier that I find is the hardest thing to break.
Yeah, psychology. I mean, when I first started, I don't know about you, but you just go into it thinking that yeah, I just need to learn a strategy. I need to learn a pattern. I need to learn like a bit of technical indication, and then from that I can make money. But you soon start to realize that you go down this path, this journey that you're now on of trading, and you realize that it's not just strategy. There's more psychology than there is strategy. There's more emotional control, right? And then you figure out all that. You think you can read people's brains and whatever, and you're like, yeah, I've got this, and then you're still losing money, and you figure out about risk management. And I think I think that summed up my journey, to be honest. um, and it's risk management, psychology, emotional control, and strategy all combined into one, and that will ultimately give you your edge.
Yeah, and I find it's also sticking to what you've learned, because I've spent a long time going from like course to course, book to book, strategy to strategy, until I realized, hang on a minute, I need to stick to one thing and just smash the life out of it until it just becomes like an intuition. Like, I'm a musician, so it was the same thing when I was learning to play the piano. You don't
Yeah,
learn to play it straight away. It's took hours and hours and hours and hours of practice to be able to just pick up a piece of music and just play it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good thought, actually. Like, you don't learn how to just play one song. You'll learn how to actually read the music and then play that music, kind of thing.
It's like, I guess when you're learning music, you have to learn to read music, play music with your both hands, and do shit with your feet as well. So it's like multitasking, and I find trading like that. When I'm looking at a chart, a live trade, I'll forget things that, like, oh, shit, the wicks is rejection, and then you're trying to look at all this information, scan it, read it, and then come up with a decision on what you're going to do and what you're not going to do without hesitating, without fear, in that like zone, that like Mark Douglas talks about in trading in the zone. When you enter that
Yeah.
zone, mate, it's a bloody challenge. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Like, I like a lot of stuff Mark Douglas says. He talks about the probability stuff as well a lot, doesn't he? About the winning streaks and losing streaks, and how you shouldn't think about the losers as losers and the winners really as winners, but only think about your success as a trader and the success of your strategy over a sample size. I think he says like over 20 trades, maybe. He's got some really good theories about that.
yeah, I like Mark Douglas. There's another person on YouTube that is very inspired by him. I'll have to find it and link it. And basically, they got 5 students in a uni, put them in front of a computer, and didn't tell them that what they were doing on the charts was money. They just says like it's like some kind of tokens things, and you've got to try and catch the bottom and play the high. And when they're doing it on the token thing, really good results. And then they told them, listen, this was trading, right? Now you're going to trade money. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. So when they traded money, it was a completely different ball game. And I said, man, and somebody needs to build a platform when that I can trade, and I can't see that it's money. I'll do so good I would on that if I didn't know.
Yeah, I find myself hiding. I know on IG you can hide your balance and your equity and stuff. I try and really minimize how much I can see on my chart because of that. I mean, you got the flashing. I've even changed my my chart, the color on my charts from green and red to black and white, purely because of the distraction of the color. I just want it simple.
I like that. I heard someone else made all their candles the same color, so no red candles. But I don't know how I ever feel about that, but definitely changing the color. I've done that myself to actually change it to a more brighter green and a more brighter red.
Yeah.
Probably the wrong way, but what were your intentions when you first come into trading? Was it to do it? You're gonna like, well, are you full time? You're looking at going full time? Was it a hobby?
Well, when I first got into trading last year, I was looking. It was a hobby. It was like the side, kind of like a side hustle kind of thing. I think I was aiming for like I was happy with £100 a week, that kind of thing. And then as I progressed and started seeing a little bit more consistency, you start to really then see the potential of trading, and you start to focus on it a lot more. But at the minute, I'm working full time, and I'm in a full time job. I do a HNC in electrical engineering. I can really balance my work life and trading at the same time. So really, going full time isn't at the forefront of my mind. I can handle the two, and I will do. But it's really, I just want to master. I just want to master this trading stuff.
I guess you know when the time is ready, don't you? I think a lot of people focus on the full time thing when, for me, I'm not going full time until my bank balance is enough to cover me for a year, in case it goes wrong. And
Exactly.
then also, we've never, I don't know about yourself, but I've never traded in a bear market, a proper bear market. It's been since 2008, I think it has. Like, so I just don't know what could happen then. So I'd like at least a year of like expenses or something like that, tucked away nicely before I go full time.
Yeah, exactly. You need that build up, don't you? And I think that's a lot to do with like as well. Like that will play on your psychological state as you're trading. Like if you was to quit your job and go full time, you haven't got the buffer behind you, that emergency fund, if you want to call it that. Then it's going to affect your trading. I know Mark Douglas says you need to be able to execute flawlessly, and to be able to do that, you need to not even think about the money. You need to focus on what's in front of you. And sometimes, I mean, especially if you just go full time like that, you got bills to pay at the end of the day, and it will rely on that, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. And also, I always thought to myself, if I had to make this work to survive, I think I'd do a lot better. But at the same time, that would also make me more hesitant. It's a different psychology, isn't it? If you're doing this for survival, you know what I mean?
It's a very different psychology. So many different kind of pillars you need to work on and balance and kind of get right for your trading just to be just a click, you know. But it's a journey, man, and we're on that journey, and it's a good journey. I'm loving it.
Same. I actually really enjoy it, and I know we like the one trade a day thing and the discipline and all that. But for me, I actually really enjoy trading. It's not
Yeah.
something. Some people see it as more of a chore, I guess, or more of like a discipline. But I actually love scalping all day. I just really enjoy it. It's a buzz.
Yeah, yeah. But then, like, is there a line between? I don't know. Some people say, obviously, don't overtrade, right? What's the line for overtrading? Because the like some people will say if you place more than 2 trades a day, that's overtrading. Some people will say, I've seen some people do 40 trades a day. Like these scalpers, they'll do like 40, 50 trades a day, even more, right? Where's the line?
You're right, because I listen to one person that says, 2 trades a day is overtrading. I mean, more than two. And then listen to another guy that said no 2 trades are the same. So I don't know where the line is, man.
That's what I mean. It can be conflicting information. So I guess it's just, I guess overtrading, I think for me would be more like revenge trading. Like if you're taking trades, if you've took 3 trades in that day and they've all been losers and you carry on placing them trades, I guess that would be overtrading for me. But if you've won them 3 trades and it's still a part of your strategy to kind of, you know, maybe keep going if you're scalping, then I suppose why not? It's about your strategy at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. That is, I guess, overtrading is subjective to your strategy. For mine, I guess it would be if I was to try and place a trade after missing a setup. You know what I mean? And like you say, pretty much revenge trading, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So, how has your journey been so far? As in, has it been easy? Has it been challenging? Like from the beginning to now, how have you found it?
Yeah, definitely not easy. Definitely challenging. I'd say turbulent, if that's the right word. I think that word best suits it. Turbulent and challenging. The peaks and troughs you definitely get, and I guess it's like I said, it's trying to find the equilibrium and understanding that when you're in a losing streak, you need to maintain a certain psychological state to kind of pull yourself back out of that. I guess that was hard for me. I'd say I'm quite an emotional person to some aspect. And I can definitely feel it on a losing streak, and I can definitely feel euphoric on a winning streak, right? So a lot of my development as a trader is now focused on finding that equilibrium state, finding neutrality, um, and I guess you can. I guess it's when you're winning streaks, you feel as if there's more advantages than disadvantages, right? And that's the reason why you feel a lot higher. And then when you're in a losing streak, you feel more disadvantages than advantages. So that makes you feel the low, right? So I guess it's in a losing streak, you need to think of the advantages to pull yourself back up to earth. And then in the winning streak, you need to think of the disadvantages to pull yourself back down to earth to kind of find the equilibrium, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's so true. That's deep. That is. I like that. That is a good psychology to have with this because, like you said, if you're losing, man, it gets you so down. It's like I don't know if say if I lose £100 and I was to get 100 quid and chuck it out the window, I'd feel worse when I've lost it with trading. But then when you win, it's just numbers on a screen. So
Yeah,
I think you're dead right there. You have to find that balance and just trade like neutrally, really.
emotionless.
Yeah.
A savage, a trade like a savage.
Yeah, and I think it's the only thing in life that you do emotionless. I think that's why our natural instinct to do certain things, you just can't with trading. You like you said,
Yeah.
you've got to be emotionless.
Yeah, and I guess that's the reason why one person, well, say 2 people could be doing the exact same strategy, and one would fail and one would win, purely because the way people handle their emotions is different, you know. Um, and it's really a skill into it that you build on, and it's definitely one that you find out when you trade, and you need to really develop as a trader.
Yeah, that's why keeping a journal is important. But I always see it as, I don't know if you've ever watched Breaking Bad. There's a character called Gus, and then I've always wondered, he's a very calculated guy, very calm. I think he just killed somebody like calmly, deal with like people coming after him calmly. And I always thought, man, imagine being like him and just trading. You know what I mean? Just sat there emotionless, just buy, sell, lose, win, whatever.
Yeah, that's it. That is exactly it, isn't it? Neutrality, emotionless. Get rid of them emotions.
Yeah, definitely. And also, you got to learn to snap out of it as well, because you can't carry that into your personal and work life, and you can't carry your personal and work life into trading. If you've had a bad day, it's going to affect your trading. If you're buzzing, it's going to affect your trading.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I guess as well, like, also, like, you're talking about the like your trading life and your work life, or well, your personal life and your trading life. I guess as well, like, there's certain aspects that can actually translate and merge into both. Like, in terms of like structure, like, and the discipline as well. Like, if you're disciplined in your personal life, it can easily translate into your trading. But like, if you're not personal, no, sorry, if you're not disciplined in your personal life, it can easily transfer into non-discipline in your trading as well. So I guess, like, as well with trading, you need to work on really your personal life just as much as your trading life. If you want to be a good trader, you need to manage your emotions in all aspects of your life, for it to translate into it.
Yeah, I agree. Especially, I do a lot of personal development along with my trading, and ever since I've started that and implemented it with trading, it has sent my trading, at a higher speed and sent it higher, because like you're learning to become a better person, which will then rub off to your trading, and you're thinking different, and you're controlling yourself and holding yourself in a different way, and it definitely, the two and two go together. It's a lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is definitely.
So, how's it been for you regarding parents, family, friends, kind of, because trading, especially for me, it's affected those areas in my life in a way that, people tend to react in certain ways when they know you're trading and you're putting all this time in. It's affecting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, when you tell your parents, obviously the trading industry can be seen as a bit of I don't want to say it, but it can be seen as a bit of a scam in a way, purely because of the 90-90-90 rule. Like, people just go in, lose the money, and they're the ones who rant and rave about that, like, oh, it doesn't work, this kind of thing. Market manipulation, every time I put my stop and it gets hit because the broker makes it, like, just that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, parents, I think they're there to really protect you as well. Like, your friends and family are there to protect you, and with something that carries that much risk, I think they're going to have that kind of thought process, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And people don't understand it as well. And even if you can't explain it to them, if the kind of, if they're lay when it comes to trading, because like they just see, Wolf of Wall Street, TV, stock market. Okay. When it's like on our side, we've got a strategy. We know people that's doing it. We know people that are working at it. So you
Yeah.
try and say, no, it's different. It's different. You're saying it. Oh, it's different. No, we do this thing on the market open, and we're doing this, and they just don't understand. And they're just like, yeah, you're gambling. You know what I mean? Or, it sounds a bit, are you sure about this person you've gave money to and all this? And like, no, it takes time. And then every time you see him, why aren't you rich yet? It's like, well, it's been a week, man.
Yeah, give it time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of my mates are going, oh, thinks he's the Wolf of Wolverhampton and all this. It's just like,
Wolf of Wolverhampton.
and he's, you're just like, nah, they just don't understand. You can't explain it. I just have to tell people, yeah, okay, I listen to whatever they're saying, especially my friends, and they're like, oh, it just sounds like you're gambling, which is, oh, it's this, it's that. And I'm like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, I guess at the beginning, like, it might feel like gambling because you don't know what you're doing. You're trying to figure it out. And the only way to really get good at it is to put that money at risk in a way, to feel the emotion. You know what I mean? Like, you can trade on the demo and not really get that emotion of having money at risk. But really, in order to obviously develop as a trader, you need to do that. And you're going to lose money at the beginning, aren't you? You know, while you're trying to define your edge. Yeah.
So yeah, so as we're on the topic of losing money and stuff, so what has been the most challenging part of the journey so far? For me, it's been realizing that it's all about psychology.
Yeah, I'd say I can't really like point to one thing. I'd say it's like psychology and consistency, and I think they both kind of go into one, because to be consistent, you need to be consistent with your strategy. You need to be consistent with your emotional control and psychology, and also risk management as well. So like, consistency isn't just, obviously you define consistency as making money every day or really like that, right? But in order to do that, you need to be consistent with all them kind of different pillars that make up trading. So I guess that's really been the challenging part, is working on all of the different pillars: risk management, psychology, emotional control, and strategy, and maintaining it at a level that will give you consistent profit.
Yeah, yeah, mate, I totally agree. You can't really pinpoint it. Like even for me, I said psychology, but I still couldn't pinpoint it within that. There's still a lot of other things, that has been along the journey. I guess it's not a straight road, is it? It's a road with many humps and bumps, viandas, traps, tons of
Yeah,
madness.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people involved in the market, and there's a lot of emotion in there, and you can kind of see that emotion on the chart, and you just got to be you just got to be you just got to be better than the your previous self, and in order to make that money consistently. And that's just the hardest part, man.
It is, and even like I said this in a previous episode, but I looked into it more. They say 75% of traders lose money, and then 20% of them break even, 4% of them make a small profit in the boom and bust cycle, and 1% of them make money and keep it and are consistent. So it's that thing where it's not about following what people do; it's kind of following what people aren't doing in a sense. But you have to work out what is that 1% doing and what is that other 99% doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's hard, man, like that. You say it like, yeah, you just have to just find out what the 1% is doing, but geez, man, it's hard. It's a journey, to say the least.
Yeah. I always use the analogy of, Monopoly. I forgot to say this in the last one as well. Somebody mentioned
Yeah,
Monopoly, and I was like, imagine Monopoly invest in houses, that kind of stuff. Imagine a Monopoly game for trading. The pieces, the board would be, it'd be hectic. The rule book would be massive. You know what I mean? It'd be absolutely chaos.
yeah, that'd be a tragic game.
It'd never end.
Wow.
Mate, Monopoly causes arguments as it is.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Monopoly, but it's Wall Street. Yeah, Wall Street Monopoly. Wow. Some scraps on that, weren't they?
So, if you could change one thing that you did wrong, what would it be?
I would probably say that. So I got Zed's. I first bought Zed's course in December, right? So I'd already been trading for about 11 months, 10 months, and that means I was trying to figure it out for 10 or 11 months by myself, which is a pretty painful process, right? And just being a sponge on YouTube, like just watching all these videos, like I mentioned earlier, like it can be a little bit contradicting, right? So you see a strategy on YouTube, you go and implement it. Yeah, you might get a trade, but then you'll lose the next 2 or 3, and you'll start going around in that circle. And really, it was about structure. Like that's what I feel as if I missed at the beginning, is having that structure, and that was through a course, right? So then I found that structure through Zed's course. I went on to the lock stock course as well. And from there, honestly, the structure of that, and then the community, and on top of that, the people around you talking to you as well, the networking is just great. And that's really the thing I did wrong, is not get that sooner and waited really for that, which I don't know why. I was probably stubborn, you know. I don't need a course, all the information's on YouTube.
It's exact same thing with me. I was just stubborn, I thought, I can do this myself, reading books, just watching like YouTube videos, and like you say, it's contradicting. And then you also don't know if that person that's teaching you, if they use that, whereas we know that people use it. And I think even not so much the actual course itself, the community is so important, especially for myself. Like just having like-minded people in a community, that like the value of that is massive, because trading's such a lonely thing, isn't it? And the closest thing we can get to trading with someone is the community, because no one's going to stop you from over trading, but somebody's watching your back in the community, or you're posting it, you've got the help there.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess as well, like if you're watching YouTube videos on a strategy, there might be different circumstances of that strategy as well, like which can obviously be detrimental to your trading. Like you could think, oh yeah, I'm going to trade that strategy every time, but then there's a variable that you'll miss, you know, and that will obviously encounter a losing trade. So if you've got a community around you, you can you can bounce ideas off each other. You can talk to each other. It's a like-minded community. It's good to have that interaction. I guess you've not really got anyone to interact with on that level, especially, I don't know, in my household. They're probably not interested as much as you. You probably bore them to death, but it's good to it's good to have that community that you can do that with.
It is, and we can all learn from each other. I've seen you post some sniper entries in the community, and it motivates people. It's good. It really is.
Yeah, yeah, it does. And I do like the messages that you get off people, and like, oh, like, what do you think of this, what do you think of that? It's fulfilling at the same time. Like if you can help people as well at the same time, then why not? It's good, you know fulfilling.
It is. That's what I love doing the YouTube thing as well, and because people always message saying they enjoy watching, a journey instead of watching someone's successful trade. People enjoy kind of watching the journey because they can relate to it more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you're doing a good job with like getting traders on, and like sharing their experience as well, and showcasing that, and that obviously inspires a lot of people as well. So that's great.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's why I thought the idea, and I thought, man, that'd be such a good idea to have people from all backgrounds and abilities come on. I mean, I've got somebody coming on who's brand new, who's been in it. By the time they come on, it'll be a month into trading.
Mm.
And,
That'll
I just
be a
want
good
to,
insight.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'll be a great insight of someone who's just started.
I can't wait
What
for
do
that.
they really think about it? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the questions. I mean, they're probably watching there because the questions I've got, there's some mad questions. Probably not going to
Yeah,
come
it'll
on
be a
now.
good insight.
So, what's been your biggest realization across your journey, but more so when you found structure?
The stock market really doesn't care about you. you know, it will wipe the floor with you as soon as you're looking over you. Like you look away, mate, and you lose a little bit of focus, and it's gonna wipe the floor. So got to keep that focus up, got to keep the energy up, got to keep learning, got to keep developing, all that kind of stuff.
It'll chew you up and spit you out and stamp on
It
you.
will, it will, you know, knock your teeth out.
Mate, like I've been slapped, kicked, punched.
Neo.
Oh, mate. Just the sound of that now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
Neo.
it's like the ex-girlfriend, isn't it? You know. Like once loved.
Once loved at 60, 70 range.
Yeah.
She don't love you no more at 30, 37.
No, just doing some mad stuff. Just gone off the rails.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I was really big on Neo actually at one point. I probably still am. Like, I've got a little burning desire for Neo deep down. But yeah, no, it was a really good stock to trade at one point, and then it just kind of obviously went downhill. You know, dropping 45% over the last couple of months. It's not a good ride down, eh?
Mate, I thought I hit the bottom at 50, I think it was, and
Yeah,
put a long-term investment in. But luckily, I still had an investment from like a year ago in it as well. And the position size was only small, so I just cut it when it started going down again. But I'm still holding that long-term investment. It's kind of breaking even at the moment with the price that it's sitting at. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna hold it. I like Neo as a company. I think once that rotation back into um, from like bonds and then growth stocks have gone into like recovery stocks. Once that rotates
yeah.
back, I think we're back in business.
To the moon. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's just crazy. Like looking at the price targets, it's still like I think median's like 70, high price target at 100, and no fundamentals have changed really. I know that we've had obviously the rotation and a few different news bits out here and there, but in general, to say that it's a stock fundamentally worth that much, and it's now sitting at around 38, is just, it's just crazy.
It is, and like I think a lot of people blame the Reddit thing. I think it was a way of the investors and the hedge funds go, you know what, we're gonna take down your favorite stock, because you trapped us.
Yeah, we're gonna wipe all your stops.
Yeah, we're gonna
Stop
take.
hunting. Yeah, and then all these newbies go, oh, I ain't placing a stop because the hedge funds will just take it anyway, and then they end up blowing their account.
Like how was it? You ever seen the memes on YouTube? And it's always that Boganoff guy, whoever it is, that French TV presenter. They've always got some memes about him and that cartoon character just has no stop loss and just like, oh yeah, I'm trading, hits the floor, goes through the table and hits the carpet from the computer screen. I felt that.
Moral of the story: use a stop loss.
Yeah, even if you're placing it somewhere, just put one in.
Just at least put one in. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I thought I caught the bottom. Well, actually, I did a pretty good job on that one. It dipped to 42, and the next day it was up like 20%, and I managed to catch that whole ride, but then it dipped back down, and I thought, yeah, this is same play, and it just didn't do what I thought it was going to do, And that actually went down all the way to 32, didn't it, Neo? At one point.
Yeah,
That's a bad price.
gives me flashbacks of buying it at 6 and selling it at 50. I mean, sorry, buying it at 6, selling it at 15, and then seeing it go to 50.
No way.
Yeah, I didn't have faith in it back then. I
What was
didn't.
that, long term, or was that trading?
Yeah, long term. Yeah,
Long term.
yeah.
Wow.
I didn't think it would go any higher. Same with Bitcoin as well. I got that about £5,
No,
something
no.
like that. Don't,
Really?
mate. Sold at
Oh, hey.
50, 60
Oh, man.
years ago.
Oh, no.
I worked it out the other day how much I would have had if I would have held that. And it's in the millions, mate.
That's horrible.
Oh, mate.
Well, I tell you what, I got I got Tesla pre-split last January. No, I have nightmares about that.
Oh, yeah. I remember what price it was at now. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I can't. Oh, what price was it at pre-split? Was it a?
It was up in the thousands, wasn't it?
Well, it was about. I remember it bouncing off 1,000, and it was down at like 9, like between the 900 and 1,000 range, and I had a position, and I just cut it because I thought, oh, it's not going anywhere else. Couldn't have been any more further wrong.
Man, I had a similar thing with myself. I brought just before the split, and then after the split, and then it wasn't moving, was it, for a while after the split? And then it just went. Shoom.
Yeah, and then the other month as well, I actually got it at around the 450 mark, and it was just in a sideways range for a good month or two, and I just thought, no, I'm going to cut it, and it went straight up. That breakout went straight up. It was pretty much rally straight to the 900 mark.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm back in now on Tesla. Can't remember what price it was, but it's still up 15%. It was up like massive the other day, but obviously it's dropped again now. But yeah, I managed to catch a good dip on that. And this time I've learnt my lesson. I am holding that for forever.
Hodl. Yeah, I think that's a saying. Hodl. Hold on, dear life.
Yeah. And I'm not looking at that account. I put it in a separate account now, in a share dealing account. Opened another one, put some investments in, and just not look at them.
Yeah,
I want to cash them.
I tell you what, I've done that with. I bought some XRP, some Ripple, a few months ago. Just a pure speculation. But just forgot about it. I don't even look at the XRP Ripple price. I just don't want to. I'll probably look at it in like 3 years or so. But just leave it and forget. Set and forget. And I guess that's the same thing as well with my swings. Like if I put a swing on, I used to put it in the same account as my day trading, and I've found it better for me to put the swings in a different account, because I'll end up fiddling about with them. Like I'll end up like selling a bit of the position if I'm looking at the chart all the time, so I just like all that separate.
Yeah, you can trust your own process more then, can't you, if you're not watching it?
Yeah.
And then I don't like, when you got multiple positions in for different strategies and it's giving you a total figure of all the positions added together. That knocks me off, that does. If I've got like a short swing, a long swing, and a day trade position in, and then you're looking at it all, it's easy just to, like you say, have it separate.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what's your plans for the future then regarding trading?
Plans is to hone down, get a good 6 to 12 months of consistency. So 6 to 12 months of consistency, and then just really weigh up options. I like options. Don't trade them, but like I've got a full-time job and I'm trading on the side. Maybe I'll reassess in a year's time. I don't know. We'll just see where it goes and see what the future holds, but I'm fairly open-minded with it.
Good mindset, that is. So what would you say is the most important thing if somebody has just started trading? What would you say to them?
Patience and trust the process. Like you got to be patient, because it ain't going to work straight away. You might have a strategy down on paper in black and white, but you ain't gonna find real consistency straight away. And that's really about trusting the process as well. And realizing what it actually does take to keep developing as a trader and keep building as a trader to get consistent. But it can weigh you down. Like, I'm sure, obviously, but it can weigh you down at the beginning. So, you got to be patient, man.
Yeah, and be prepared to sacrifice things and and have crazy experiences, especially if you want to go fully into this. It's going to challenge every single part of you in ways you'd never think. You've got to be ready for that, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's about being aware of them peaks and troughs as well. Like, you got to be aware that you're going to be on a winning streak and you're going to feel great. And then you're going to be down in the dirt, stock market, like you said, will chew you up and spit you out at some points. And it's about having the grit and determination to then get back through it and realize what you need to iron out in order to, get where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. And it's yeah, like it's challenging in all ways. And also, yeah, it is challenging, but it's also rewarding at the same time. And yeah, like we were saying earlier, you got to find that fine line in between it. But also, what I don't do, what I should do, is treat myself. When I've done good, I don't do that. So I'm going to start implementing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Treat yourself with something, whether that's like doing a withdrawal, buying some new clothes, buying a new piece of equipment for your setup, or whatever it is. You need to reward yourself with something, don't you? Otherwise it's just money on a screen, and if you're not getting anything from it, you you know you you're going to be feeling stuck at some points. But yeah, also the structure side as well. Um, I would say to new traders, like, buy that course straight away. Like, if you're gonna really be taking it seriously, buy a course, get some education. Find someone who trades the way that you want to trade, and try and get closer to them as an individual. And usually that's through a course, right? And then also find the structure in your life as well. Um, get good at every area of your life so it can then seep through into trading.
Yeah, exactly. Find somebody else that's successful, copy them.
Exactly. Yeah. Get closer to them. You need to get into their network circle, don't you? The only way really you're going to do that is if they've got a course, they've got a community that you can join, full of the like-minded individuals that you can learn from.
Because then you've haven't just got that person and the course. You've then got other people that are successful in the course. You got people at the same level as you. It's a good community. And I know I'll speak to people that are more consistent than me and ask them if the journey was similar to mine. And sometimes I think I'm fluking it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, let me somebody help me see the reality of this. Is this what you do? Are you the same? And they're like, most of the time they're like, yeah, that's what it is, man. You know?
Yeah. It's crazy because you don't really see, obviously from the outside looking in, you won't see anyone's journey to the point where you won't see you usually you won't see the downs. You'll probably see the ups, and that's the thing. Like, some people can look at that and really take that in and not realize that. And that means when they're going through the downs, they feel as if they're doing something extremely wrong and abnormal, when really they're not. It's just a part of the process.
Yeah, exactly. Every trader loses, every trader wins.
Yeah.
So, what are your favorite and best books or tips?
Books would be, I think there's trade trading for a living. I think I've read that. That was a pretty good book. Is it the investor book um, by Warren Buffett and that Benjamin? Have you read that one?
Yeah, yeah. It's one of my first investing books. That was.
Was it? Yeah.
Mm.
I guess that's more investing than trading, but that was a pretty good book for me to understand in general, the economics of investing as well, which was good. And then the mindset books as well. Obviously, there's Mark Douglas. There's Mark Douglas's books and seminars as well, where she's got some really good content on YouTube, where he actually presents the book to an audience and he articulates it, and it's really good. So if you've got time to watch that, it's great. And then there's Psycho-Cybernetics. I've still got that. I've still got part of that to read actually, but from what I've got from that, that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I like that. Really good. So I know the Matt Duggs thing you're on about. I'm gonna link that in the description. Actually, that's a really good thing to watch. That is.
The seminar, have you watched it?
Yeah, the 4-part one.
Yeah.
Mate.
Bang. Yeah, I love it.
And to
Watched
think that
every...
the thing to think that those people in that crowd must have spent thousands to go there.
Mate, I thought that, and I just thought, what a blessing I am sat here watching this. Rest in peace, Mark Douglas. But you know,
Yeah.
he's got some phenomenal content around mindset. You know, I think he worked for the majority of the American trading firms. He went around there, didn't he, teaching psychology to the floor traders. You know, really credible man.
Yeah, really good, really good. Yeah, rest in peace, man. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. Then we're running out of time. I had to realize last time Zoom just cuts you off when you hit the time limit. Yeah, you had to restart the meeting and everything. It was annoying. And the other guy was just left talking for about 5 minutes and didn't realize that I couldn't hear him. But yeah, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna drop your Instagram in the comments and anything else you want to plug as well.
Yeah, man, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.